the next 1,000 years, we will be here. Recognizable, identifiable.
Lee Kuan Yew's one simple idea was that for a nation to be prosperous, the citizens need to have skin in the game. This is Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's first Prime Minister, addressing the nation right after the country separated from Malaysia in 1965. Singapore at the time was struggling, a failing economy, an unskilled population, and widespread racial riots. In the riots of 1965 alone, 23 people lost their lives and hundreds were injured. Lee Kuan Yew knew that the first order of business was to curb the riots and establish social order. But given the country's multiracial population, he needed a long-term solution, or else the riots would keep popping up again and again, destroying all progress. One of the most ingenious policy decisions of Lee Kuan Yew was to promote the idea of home ownership over renting. This simple idea had incredible second and third order effects. In his memoir called From Third World to First, The Singapore Story, he writes, "During the riots of the 1950s and early 60s, people would join in the rioting, stone windscreens, overturn cars and burn them. But when riots broke out in the mid-1960s, after they owned homes and property, they acted differently. In other words, people stopped the rioting because they faced the consequences of their own actions. That is skin in the game." Today, over 90% of Singaporeans own the house that they live in. That means they have an inbuilt incentive to maintain social order, to keep the streets clean, to protect their country, and to participate in nation building. As the great Charlie Munger said, "Show me the incentive and I will show you the outcome." Oh, and by the way, this is what Munger had to say about Lee Kuan Yew.
Lee Kuan Yew, who was the greatest nation builder probably that ever lived in the history of the world. He said one thing over and over and over again all his life: figure out what works and do it.
Today, Singapore is one of the most prosperous countries in the world, and Lee Kuan Yew is rightly regarded as the father of modern Singapore. This is just one of the many policy decisions that helped Singapore realize her destiny. You can listen to my 42 Minutes Inside Pack podcast on Lee Kuan Yew, where I cover many such interesting ideas on the great man. Do check it out.